If you are Assetto Corsa Competizione player on PC, I might have a good news for you. The whole game might get a little bit better. The whole experience from the game might improve a little bit. And the answer why is very simple. Thanks to the sim racing community. Hello everybody guys and welcome to this video. My name is Jardier and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm gonna be talking about ACC Revolution, as I would like to call it, because for some people like me who play the game for past 5 years, this is actually a big deal. I think by now everybody knows Lowfuelmotorsport, one of the biggest websites or communities for ACC, thing that probably improved ACC big time in the past 2 years. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be like positive or negative in this. I'm very curious to hear your opinion. In my opinion, the LFM really improved the whole overall ACC, made it so much enjoyable for casual players. At the same time, I think it kind of hurt the communities, you know, when people were used to drive in some leagues and so on. I think a lot of people switched to LFM or changed to LFM, so it's very hard to like take it like positively and negatively. But in my opinion, I think the LFM was the best thing that happened to ACC in the past 5 years, and it's a really shame it didn't happen sooner. It's really a shame it didn't happen from maybe even the official development of the game. But nevertheless, if you don't know what LFM is a website where, same as in iRacing, it's literally like, I don't want to say it, like, but it's a copy-paste of like iRacing system. You have your SR rating, your ELO rating, your safety rating, and so on. And you compete in the races, weekly races, and they are doing weekly races. We have like 2 different options for racing, like longer race, shorter race, LFM Pro race, endurance, and so on. Really simple. We just like, you get from work, you turn on the PC, there's a race at 6 p.m, you sign up and you drive, you know, very simple. You don't have to worry about like going to some other website, to go some other Discord and trying to figure out how to actually get into the league or races, and you're gonna maybe miss some race and you're gonna even like not have a chance in the championship or so on. With LFM you can just show up, do a race and enjoy the game itself. I think calling LFM successful is almost understatement, because they got over 100,000 players. Now it's important to say they also have R Factor 2, but I think overall the ACC community is much bigger, and at this point of the game, or the LFM is like a mainly for ACC and like 10% of R Factor. So still over 100,000 users is a big number considering how small sim racing or Assetto Corsa is. Now comes the big thing. Assetto Corsa Competizione, biggest talk for the past 5 years on my channel, on every single channel, on every community, and on every racing. The biggest talk always, apart from cars and updates and roadmap and stuff, the biggest talk was always BOP, balance of the performance of the cars. Now ACC is pretty good overall. The game is fantastic. Great simulation, sounds, multiplayer, driver swap, racing, official blank pane, GD World Challenge game, or GT1 Challenge only. I don't think it's called blank pane anymore, but it started like that. And I played this game for 5 years, and since the beginning, there were always version of the game that was like, it was good, and then there was some updates which introduced new cars, new tires or something like that, or new tracks. And it broke something a little bit. And it was always like adding. And every update introduced some new different version of the BOP into the game, which was nice because it was refreshing. So, for example, we had Honda being OP for like half a year. Then we got an update of the game, the 1.9, which made Honda terrible. And we were introduced to Audi or Lamborghini and such, which was really nice refreshment of the game. Like at the beginnings, I remember playing on a Bentley, I remember playing Aston Martin, Lexus, you know, maybe people, some nostalgic people remember Lexus being insanely OP in the rain, and Lamborghini absolutely the worst car to even drive possibly, and so on. So in the past 5 years, what happened? The game was constantly changing and developing, but let's be honest, the most important thing for a lot of players, including me, was that the balance of the performance was always very weak. The game could have been much better if the balance would be good. Obviously, you cannot make the cars to be exactly the same. It would be weird. You want to drive Lamborghini as Lamborghini, you want to drive Porsche as Porsche. But as in real world, there's constant balances and constant changes that makes the cars as close as possible. Obviously, because we are in a game, this is much easier, and I think this process can take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month to be really well done, and then maybe a couple of more months to make it like really, really good. But unfortunately, that's not what happened in ACC in a couple of 5 years. I personally was very disappointed many, many times, and some other players, of course, as well. And it was, sometimes you had one car meta, another car meta, and so on. But luckily, we were getting a lot of updates in ACC at the beginning, in the first 3 years. So the game was constantly developing, and you didn't notice too much of these problems. But for the past 1.5 years, we were getting a smaller amount of updates every time, and therefore this was a bit more noticeable. You know, like for example, the Honda NSX meta was almost a year, and now we got 1.9 version of the game, which probably was the biggest breaking point for a lot of people that they said enough. But I don't want this to be negative, obviously. Like ACC and everything, they did a really good job with everything. But unfortunately, this part of the community did not work very well. And the worst part was that, yes, you could have made your custom BOP in ACC, but it was really limited. So basically, there was no point doing it. But now it changed in 1.9 version of the game, because I think a month or 2 months ago, the developers introduced into the game, you can make your custom BOP plus 40 kilos and minus 40 kilos. So basically you have 80 kilos of ballast that you can work with on the cars to make a custom BOP. And this was used in the SRO Esport Championship. So basically thanks to SRO Esport Championship, we got this tool to maybe do something ourselves. And that's exactly what Lowfuelmotorsport did. Like introducing now in a new season 12, which is starting next week, the Lowfuelmotorsport is going to the custom BOP. Now you might be wondering how the hell did they like collect some data, or how did they do that? That's because the community works together, and there is, for example, super famous and one of the biggest ACC leagues, my most favorite, apexonlineracing, and they have a hot lap servers. And all those hot lap servers are same for past, 2 years, maybe even longer. And the best thing is, all of those setup selling web pages are using apexonlineracing hot laps to set lap times for the cars so they can sell the setups. So basically you have like one of the top esport drivers hot lapping on those servers, setting the lap times, which then you can see how fast each car technically is. At the same time, Lowfuelmotorsport introduced their hot lap sessions, or their hot lap servers, which are also at the same exact conditions as apexonlineracing servers, and therefore they have more data as well. Well, and then there's SRO and other things and the races we have been doing for the past couple of months. So there's a lot of data in terms of like numbers, lap times, the cars and everything. Which technically, if there are some smart people who obviously are much smarter than me in LFM and other communities, they put it all in the tabs. They put it all in on a Excel and such. And thanks to that, they got like a raw version of how fast almost each car, like let's say top 5, top 10 cars in the game are. You know, the cars that people are using. Thanks to that, they got the numbers. And thanks to that, they were like, okay, the car needs 30 kilos to lose, for example, 3/10 on certain track. And basically thanks to that, you have the whole BOP for the game. How simple is that, guys? I don't want to be negative, really. I don't want to like target anyone in this video, but I'm going to be honest, guys. In 5 years, or okay, let's not count the last half year. In the 4.5 years, I don't want to put myself in a bad position or anything, but I was ridiculed for BOP complaints. I was ridiculed for a lot of things. I was told about a lot of things why the BOP cannot be good and stuff like that. And LFM did it in like 2 weeks. Now, obviously, the LFM BOP might have some little flaws at the beginning because maybe there are some cars who are underdriven. You know, like, for example, let's say Honda. Nobody knows how fast the Honda actually is. So it might have a little bit, like, too little LBOP or something, but it's gonna be constantly getting improved. And the best thing about this, guys, I just spit on my keyboard massively, sorry. The best thing all about this, guys, is the other communities are seeing this as well. And now, for example, the Apex Online Racing are introducing the custom B for the biggest league. They have like 300, 400 people signing up for league. And now they have the custom BOP as well, because they have the data, thanks to LFM and thanks to them as well. And they know how to do it now. And now we are also racing in a Realm Welton esports series, me and my friends, when they also introduces the custom BOP now. And you can really see that the community really wants this. You know, they want the cars to be closer. You will never make them exactly the same, but if one car is 6/10 faster per lap on Donington, you really want to make it closer, you know? And there obviously might be people, like, you might be asking, like, if you're a little bit slower, if you're like tier 2, 3, 4 driver, you might be saying that, well, the BOP doesn't affect me, you know? If there's a car faster or slower, I'm just 2 seconds off pace. No, mate, it really does affect you. It really does affect you. It multiplies in your pace. So if there's a guy who is driving a car that's 6/10 faster than you, he might be even way faster than you. Like, we are talking on e-sport level, there's a car 6/10 faster than P2 car. But when you are driving that slower car and he's driving that faster car, it can be a second, because your exit from the corner is not that good. But his corner exit doesn't matter anymore because he's faster on a straight or faster in a corner and so on. So guys, please understand this, that the BOP, the bad BOP, affects everyone. Like, everyone is getting affected by this. And the better BOP is, the better for everybody else. So I hope the community will be very positive about this, because it seems like a lot of sim racing ACC pages now are going at the same thing. Even our own league in the next season will be driving the custom BOP if sim racing GP will introduce it as a possibility. So yeah, you might be even wondering why I'm actually making a video about it. What is the big fuss? You know, I don't like LFM, I like LFM, I don't like LFM, and so on. It doesn't really matter what is the point in this, but I think it's important to say that ACC is getting into the little better place. Maybe it's gonna get a little bit more players now, because, like, take it or leave it with the LFM. As it is, you know, some people might not argue with or agree with the stewarding or something, but hey, it is the best for free from people like us. So I think that's like a very good thing. And maybe thanks to this, we will even have like the future a little better. Maybe the Assetto Corsa 2 will be a little better in this, you know? So yeah, I'm actually looking forward, guys, because now we're gonna be going for season 12 LFM, even LFM Pro, for example. And I'm very curious because, for example, now we saw Bentley on Monza being P1. You know, obviously a little bit too OP, so he needs a little bit more ballast, but already dead. Like, Bentley was dead for past half a year, completely gone. And suddenly it was in the front again, you know? And people who don't like BMW M4, for example, now are gonna be a little bit more happier because the car will be competitive in most of the tracks. Or if you drive McLaren, you were dead on Kyalami, no chance whatsoever to have a good race. But now, hey, McLaren is back, you know, and so on. Aston Martin and so as such. So personally, I'm very excited about this. I think it's very important. I'm very happy to share this with you because maybe not many people know it. And I think this will really revolutionize the ACC, because I think when this is the control of the community, it is gonna be better, you know? Because the thing is, we will not have to wait. We will not have to wait for anything. When 1.9 version of the game released it, we got like 2, 3, 4 updates for BOP after some of the races in real life and such, but the BOP was not good. It was even worse. But now when the community is in control, not only they can fix it all the time, they can fix it every week, every month and so on, but they're gonna make it nice and good, you know? So guys, happy kilometers in Assetto Corsa Revolution. Thanks to LFM, Apex Online Racing, and lot of other communities. And first of all, the players who are hot lapping and racing and setting good lap times for a benchmark for everybody else. So technically, even if you don't like websites that are selling setups, I honestly say thank you, guys. And thank you, LFM, and thank you everybody else to making the ACC a little bit better place for racing drivers. My name is Jardier, leave a like and subscribe. And no, this was not paid video, I'm just very freaking excited guy. I played this game for 5 years, guys. So, yeah, leave a like.